Common sense goes a long way. It really does. But so step number 2,
Right.
where the savings are going to go. Any government entity or any be it county government, city, state. Well, once they have once they've put this in place, we can start the savings. I want to see them take their savings, whatever isn't being spent, put toward debt. And I think that we can kill our debt, we can kill our deficit in less than 2 years, and pretty easily, actually. And that's a low balling it. Now, so you providing for where the savings are going to go,
right.
Then we can start saving. Now, anything that is, once we have our debt saved, or once we have our debt paid off,
right.
Then whatever those surplus savings are, I want that to go to the next year's business taxes, so that we can start building a record of having to collect less business taxes in order to break even. All right, now we're going to start bringing business here. We're going to bring commerce. We're going to bring jobs. We're going to bring, families back. And all of this is going to widen our tax base. And, with more jobs, there's going to be less need for people that are on public assistance, because they'll be able to work.
True.
And so you're lowering your expenditures there. You're also, by widening your tax base, and you're lessening the amount of taxes that each person is going to have to pay in order to
lightens the burden for everybody.
Yeah, because many hands make light work. Now, and also, when you bring more people here, and they're going to be buying and selling more things, government wins on both sides of every transaction. There's sales tax and income tax.
True.
So now you got government that's, you're making more money. There's more revenue there. So you're going to find that you'll be able to lower business taxes even more and lure more business here. Now, step number 3 is, this is where the savings comes in.
Okay.
Now, right now, every government-funded organization that's out there works on the premise, if we don't spend our entire budget this year, we're not going to get it next year. And, they're trying to prove that they need it. And that's crazy, because we will never be able to get out of debt with every government-funded organization trying to spend every dollar that they're given. And so anyway, what I want to do is create a system that it's incentive driven. So let's say you are a firefighter, or you're a teacher, or whatever you may be. Now, whatever your organization is,
right.
however many tax dollars that comes to you, however many of those dollars you're able to save, you're going to end up, because of your ability to turn off the lights, or use less printer paper, or do things more efficiently, or share your resources better. Now, first, I want to guarantee we're not going to cut your budget, because if we don't give that guarantee, you're not going to work toward the incentive.
Sure.
So
I was about to ask you.
Yeah.
So okay.
So now I'm going to say, however much money you save, you give it back to where it came from, and 75% of those savings will go toward, like in step number 2, it'll go toward debt, and then it'll go toward business taxes, and that'll all be incentivized by the 25% of those savings going back to you, your organization, and it can be dispersed evenly in the form of a tax-free end-of-year bonus. So now everybody at every school that is trying to go on the end-of-year shopping spree, well, they'll all have a reason to turn off the lights, people, you'll probably find people will get mad at each other, Joe, I want the end-of-year bonus, turn off the lights,
Okay.
It'll be really good, and, if you can change the mentality that people have, it won't take, the micromanagement of legislators to try and fix anything, which I don't trust their ability to fix anything anyway. It's nothing good comes with micromanagement. You have to provide for a system where people want to manage themselves. And if they can do that and get rewarded for it, everybody's going to win. That 25% that goes back to them, that's an investment in the rest of us, because that other 75% of their savings, it went toward lowering our taxes, or bringing back business, or bringing jobs back here. that's an investment in a better future for all of us.
Now, see, I find this interesting because it's a very unique plan. I don't think anyone's ever said, I don't remember hearing of a plan before where you provide a government agency $100,000, and if they only spend $75,000, you'll give them back, that works out to about, according to your plan, roughly about $12,500. Take the rest of it and put it against the deficit, and or lower business taxes, so everyone winds up ahead. That's an interesting plan. It's a very simple plan, and you're right. That is a very average person. It doesn't sound like what politicians normally say at all.
Well, you know, politicians, they don't like real solutions, and they don't actually like common sense. They like Band-Aid solutions, because any solution that's a real solution, you're not going to have to visit it later. And it somehow, in some way or another, what I believe is it hurts their job security. You know, they want to be able to come up with that Band-Aid solution at a moment's notice, and then be able to go, hey, I'm sorry, it was just a Band-Aid solution, but all these other legislators are holding back, you know, holding us back so that we can't find a real solution. But I'm doing the best I can. Just keep reelecting me. I'm done believing, you know, the Band-Aid solution politician.
Term limits.
Okay.
And I just want to briefly go over that, because I know you don't mind them. I'm against them, or rather, I am for term limits. You've mentioned previously that you're not. So I just want to give people a moment to hear your view on that.
Okay.
Just to clarify that.
I think that if we want term limits, we need to prepare ourselves for term limits, because right now we're just not ready for them. Being that right now anybody that gets involved, anybody that is so passionate about bringing about solutions that they want to step out into government, eventually they're going to have to ask themselves, what's going to happen to me and my family and everything I once worked for, be it retirement or whatever, job security, seniority. What's going to happen to all that if I get elected, and then I have to give that up, and then I don't get reelected? Because I've already been replaced at my old job, and there's no guarantee I'm going to be able to get it back. So now, if we have maybe 6 or 8 years that they can be in office, and then we tell them, oh, by the way, you're definitely not going to have a job here. So now you have to go find one, and you're probably, you know, if you're a legislator and you're able to, well, funnel money to different organizations that have already contributed to your campaign, chances are
they do.
Then, you know, chances are they're going to be using their time in office to cater to special interest groups or lobbyists or unions or whoever, whatever industries. And, you know, when they're done wreaking havoc on us, then, you know, they'll go off and they'll work someplace at some, you know, lobbyist's office or something. And you know, I don't want to create a system that incentivizes our legislators selling out to anybody. The first thing we need to do is take away the fear from the average person, so that they can actually get involved. But yeah, if I work for you, then if I decide to run, it would be unfair for you to have to hold a position for me.
Right.
So I say that you should be able to replace me. But then, as long as I'm no longer elected, and then if I'm still qualified for this position, then when this position or an equal or similar position comes available again, I would then be at the top of your list.
I give you that. I never thought of it from that point of view of what do you do after being a politician.
Yeah.
No one ever really speaks about that. Well, you don't kind of just stop and go, okay, I'm going back to the post office. Well, no one ever really says.
Yeah, and even if you wanted to do that, you would be hard pressed to get rehired, because you have to go through the whole hiring process.
Start all over from the beginning.